In this video, we're going to be going through essential flows to have for 2026 and beyond. These are key email marketing automations for D2C and e-commerce brands. So, this will be following frameworks that have generated our clients close to 2 million this year to date. And let's jump into it and go through it. So first things first, the welcome flow. The reason I'm going through this flow first is because this is usually going to be your biggest breadwinner, and it's usually going to be the flow you want to put the most attention on because, first touch point with your new subscribers and things of that nature, So it will go pop up, usually leads to the trigger, which is someone's added to the newsletter or whatever the list that they're getting added to, and then they get email one. Now, with email one, you're going to want to split test a plain text and a designed. Reason being is, plain text usually wins on the tests that we run, but that's not to say design may not win, as design is usually better for branding, right? With a plain text, the structure you kind of want to do is like a hey, XYZ here from said brand, and this is what you're going to expect in the next few days. Here's what you should shop with us, and here's the incentive to do so. With a designed email, you're going to be following a headline, kind of a bit about you guys, what's like your brand story is, why shop with you, why care, bullets to, no pun intended, bullets to kind of back up what you've got to say, and then testimonials and bestsellers, So put that as a split test, and then you're going to do it as like a conditional split between did they buy or did they not buy overall time. Now, if they've bought, the welcome flow's objective is completely different to if they didn't buy. If they have bought, then the objective of this flow is simply to be indoctrination. So you want them to start liking your emails, want to open your emails, kind of just build like a brand to reader relationship. And the way you're going to do that is by teaching them about the brand and getting them into your ecosystem. So when you're teaching them about the brand, it's going to be like, for example, your business's story, like from start to finish, how it happened, why they care. Is it like the family aspect? Is it, I don't know, like the sourcing of the products, things of that nature, right? So you're going to put emails in here that are just emails that educate and not sell. You know what I mean by that? Same when you have like a blog and a social media email, it's going to be just getting them into the ecosystem. So after they've purchased with you, you're just trying to create A, as many touch points as possible, but B, just build up goodwill, So then when they do want to do a replenishment or they do want to buy said product again, your emails are top of mind and they're constantly opening them. If they didn't buy, the primary goal, of course, is going to be getting that first purchase from them. So the first thing we're going to do is going to be about the brand with an us versus them and kind of break down why they shop with you. Like in the current state of like email marketing, just e-com or most markets in general in 2025, 2026 and beyond, pretty much everyone's already like really, really aware. Like, they know about what problem they've got. They know about brands and, things of that nature that are like your competition. So you need to make a comparison point right away about why you'd be the best option to shop with. So we usually recommend doing an us versus them. We've seen that to work really well. And then just, something simple about like collections or best blogs or best reads. Then after that, you're going to do a testimonial email. This is a simple like collection of like wall of love, we like to call it. It'll be like headline, testimonial, button, bestsellers, button. Something really simple like that, or you can break it down in deeper detail in the plain text. But we usually recommend leaving that email to later. Then you're going to do FAQs, which is simply like just handling objections. That's the goal of this email. And then kind of like nurturing if they've got any more questions or stuff to move down the line and go onto the website. And then you're going to go, have they bought again, yes or no? If they have bought, they're going to go into something called a drip sequence. Now, a drip sequence is just a collection and a somewhat separate automation. Well, it's not really an automation, but a wing from the welcome flow. That is a collection of your best performing campaigns. And the reason you want to do this after they've done the actual designated welcome flow is because this will indoctrinate them further to like your campaigns. If these are the campaigns with the best clicks, best opens, lowest unsubscribes, then it's like you're giving them a good first impression as to why they should stay on your list, if you follow what I mean. I think for like a date, if you're just showing up really good and tidy on the first date, you're probably going to see them on the second date. If you then go into the no wing of they haven't bought since starting this welcome flow, then you're going to do something called a detailed customer breakdown. Now, what this will be is if you go into your review section, copy and paste all of your reviews, put them into a Google Doc and run through them. Find what the most reoccurring belief is. And by belief, I mean like a desire or objection, tally them down, and then make emails about testimonials that are in detailed about said desire or belief. For example, if it's dry skin, if you're going through your emails and you find your reviews, and you find a really detailed one from Sally who cured her dry skin and this product is an absolute miracle, you're going to use that in a plain text from the founder, break it down and kind of reverse engineer how she got that result and send it to the list. The reason being, because it was one of the most reoccurring beliefs, people are likely going to be having that as an objection or like a desire as to why they want to buy from you. After that, you're going to just keep trying to get them into the useful information with the recipes and the blogs. Just keep trying to get as many touch points as possible within the ecosystem. And then after that, directly ask a question about the discount. Like simply be like, hey, Tom, it's a name from Jackson Lane here. I noticed XYZ. You signed up for 10% discount or whatever the discount is. You haven't used it yet. Is there anything I can help you with? Maybe your XYZ, whatever it is. No pressure at all. Just drop me a reply if you need a hand and your discount's still active. Like a simple, like actual customer service letter to them, asking, is everything okay? Is there any particular reason you haven't shopped with us yet? And if you simply forgot, no pressure at all. Here's your discount. And if they don't buy from this, you're just going to get into the drip sequence. Like what you'll find is quite a lot of these customers afterwards will just purchase with the campaigns. Like some people need more touch points than others, and that's fine. But that's why we'd always recommend having a drip sequence. Sets them up perfectly for your campaigns. Now, after this, the next flow we're going to go through is post-purchase. So the usual trigger is when someone places an order, and then what we like to do is actually break the post-purchase into two separate flows. So the first post-purchase flow is just going to be this top layer of thank you notes. And a thank you note is simply, and before I jump into that, actually, these are going to be broken up into different wings. So this is your first-time customer, second-time customer, and third-time customer. All of these thank you notes are going to be a bit different. For example, this is a first-time customer note here, and it's like, hey, name, thanks so much for shopping with us. I know there's a lot of lash brands out there, XYZ. Here's what you can expect over the next few days, and if you need anything, just drop me a reply. I'm here to help. Reason being, the first wing is all about retention. You want them to come back for the second order. Now, if you're going to be doing people on the second order and the third order, they're going to be slightly different. You can be a bit more aggressive on an upsell or a cross-sell with them. You know what I mean? Because when someone buys 2 times, they're likely to buy 3 times, and 3 times, you can start asking for more favors. Now, after the thank you note, you're going to make a new flow, which is going to have a trigger of when someone's order is fulfilled. The reason being, people may have next day delivery, or they may have a delivery date scheduled, so you want to make sure you're not sending emails that aren't in line with the timings of their said order. So we'll go into a fulfilled order flow now, and this will just be the first email across board. Will just be an update. So it's prepare for your order, some testimonials about why you love it, and join the community to get them to social media, or you can even send them back to the site. After that, you're going to want to send them, and to be fair, this is product specific. So for example, with a coffee brand like this one on the left, you're not really going to send a case study of you could send a case study, but it's not going to be like an in-detailed thing as where if it was like a supplement brand and there's so many objections that you've got to handle, like a case study of how this menopause supplement did XYZ, we'd recommend doing it. But my point being is think about this structure based on what product you're selling. If it's something that's kind of more of a commodity, you may not need to send this case study. You could just get away with sending a testimonial email. But if you're sending something that needs a bit of like cooling down like a buyer's remorse and kind of putting them at ease, like a supplement or like fitness gear or things like that, send a case study and wins to get them even more excited. After that, it's just going to be the best way to use the product. So if it's coffee, brewing tips, if it's like a dumbbell, different lifts you could do. And if it's a supplement, kind of maybe ways to make the most of it, like pairing with exercise, etc., etc. And then you're going to direct them to blogs and useful reads on the email after that. So that's going to be, as an example like this, like access to expert approved articles and kind of best articles to have, Then you're going to do send to social media. Like, again, keep them in the ecosystem, because what you'll find is with most of your purchasing, it's going to take 3 to 5 touch points, right? So You may send them an email, then they're going to be on social media, then you're going to retarget them an ad, then you're going to see them on YouTube and so on and so forth. So sending to social media is key on this post-purchase because you want to get as many people into that little bubble of yours, so you can keep poking them and keep reminding them that you're there. Then after this, it's going to be a simple case of sending them a repurchase email after their use date of fancy 10% off your next order, or if you don't want to do a discount, you could do something along the lines of this would pair well with your order, or things of that nature, just trying to get them to repurchase. Because as I said, at the end of the day, this whole first wing's goal is to move them to the second wing, and the second wing to the third wing. So with the second wing, your whole goal here is to get them to repurchase one more time or get them onto a subscription. So it'll be the same as the order update, direct helpful insights and blogs, and then you can do explain the benefits of subscription. So for example, if you were going to, sorry, this gift always makes me laugh, but if you were going to be pushing them for like a coffee subscription, for example, it'd be something like this. So after they've just purchased, you give them all this useful information. By the way, I'll get straight to the point. There's nothing worse than waking up with an empty coffee bag. Explain the pains of basically not having your coffee, and then that's why I built Subscribe and Save, benefits of Subscribe and Save, XYZ, XYZ. If there's no subscription, just cross-sell them or upsell them on a bigger quantity. You know what I mean? Pretty simple there. And then with the third wing, you're going to start pushing and pulling on favors. So with all of these two, you can also put like a testimonial request, which is fine, but you're going to get most bang for your buck by leaving the testimonials and like affiliate pushes towards after the third wing, and I'll explain why. So thank you note, and then you've got the order update, and then you've got the testimonial request, which is this one. Sorry, that's going to bug me then. So what you're going to be doing is sorry, I had to change that. OCD. So what you're going to be doing here is basically requesting them for a testimonial. So it's going to be, hey there, XYZ from the Village Butchers. I know you've ordered from us a few times now, so I'd love to know what you think about the Village Butchers, but for good bits and anything we can improve on, your honest feedback helps us get better and better. So if you have a spare minute, would you mind leaving a quick review here? The reason why is after the first and second email, on the third purchase, you built up so much goodwill that the likelihood of them saying something good is high. And this is key for things like Trustpilot and other things like that. You can kind of manipulate not in a bad way, but manipulate the amount of reviews you have to be reflective of 5 stars and 4 stars and above. And the way you're going to do that is by sending them to your loyal fans, Like, it's a lot more headache if you got a few bad reviews from first-time customers who didn't know how to use your product, compared to if you're a bit more patient with third-time customers who knew how to use your product, liked your brand, and then you send them to Trustpilot and other needle-moving review services, and they just need nothing but raving reviews, right? Then after that, you can do an affiliate push or a sharing coupon. Now, what I mean by this is you're going to be doing... So when someone orders from you 3 times, and again, this is very niche specific as well, but when someone orders from you 3 times, usually they'll rave onto you about their friends. Like if there's a really good supplement, for example, about hair loss, and someone's getting their hair back and they have friends that are struggling with hair loss, I'd bet my left hand that they're going to recommend it to their friend. And the easiest way to get them to recommend it to their friend is by an affiliate push, like sharing a coupon, For example, share this code for £10 off your next order. And then they'll share it with their friend because they're likely to reorder anyway. So it makes it easy, And you can also do this, not even via email, but via direct mail. And and just as an example, this is like for blogs, for the direct helpful insights. So next, we have the win back. So this is when someone places an order, you wait time, recommend 60 days, but again, dependent on what the life cycle of your product is. Had they ordered again? If the answer is no, they're going to enter this flow. So the email one is just checking in on how they've been. Like they could have just, forgotten about you. So you don't want to be too aggressive on it. So this is a simple case of, hey, I was checking our systems earlier. Couldn't help but know it's been a little while since you ordered on us. Life gets busy, and I know ordering meat probably isn't at the top of your to-do list. It's a meat brand. But I thought you might like to know we've been busy sourcing some exceptional cuts that our regular customers can't get enough of, XYZ, and just check them out here. You don't need to do a discount on the win back. Usually, if you've got a good product and things, 9 times out of 10, the reason why people haven't returned is because they've just simply forgot. So give them a little nudge. With these emails, quick note, you're basically going to be going through reasons why they haven't bought from you. So the first one's going to be email 1 is going to be a little nudge, they forgot. Email 2 is going to be they didn't know how to use your product, or you're not giving them enough value. This is why on this one, for example, we're doing a recipe email. So, hey Joe from the Village Butchers here, XYZ. Our daily tomahawk tacos have been particularly popular. 1-minute video makes this banger easy to cook with minimal effort, and then other little recipes, access over recipes. So just giving them value, getting them a reason to come back into the ecosystem, browse around your blogs, maybe stumble across a product they like and click it, or if they haven't bought from you again and they didn't really know about inspiration to cook, you're kind of just building desire by giving them a reason to buy from you again. That's not just directly related to the product, but rather the desire to try cook a new thing. Then you're going to break down more direct problems. So the next one is they've probably started shopping at the supermarket again for this brand. So you're going to be saying, hey there, XYZ about why supermarket meat isn't good to buy from, bit of social proof. Come check us out. This will be like if someone's doing supplements, for example, the biggest objection you're probably going to have with after the first two is going to be like they didn't use it for long enough. So you're going to be saying you used it for 30 days, but if you use it for 60 days, you'll start to reap the rewards. Or if it's like another food brand, it could even like a supplement brand. Again, it could be the taste of the product. So, if you actually mix it with XYZ recipe, then so on and so forth. You see where I'm going with this? So you just whatever your research says and your customer support chats say, just start to break down one by one what the objections are, and then the last one being the objection being price. And then this is like just being upfront, like saying, I think this got me wondering, was everything all right with your last order? Like at the Village Butchers pride ourselves on quality, but we're only human, so if your experience wasn't what you expected, we'd like to make it up for you. So each email should target a different objection, and that way you can kind of snipe people from different scenarios across the way. Because by the end of it, after this, it's like you're going to start annoying people really after like 5 or 6 on a win back. At that point, it's probably because the service wasn't what they expected and there was actually something wrong with their order. And then at that point, marketing can only do so much, So, yeah. Now, if we go into the abandoned checkout and cart, I've put these together because the actual outline and format of this flow is very similar in terms of the stages. The copy and the emails themselves are different because, it's a different stage of the funnel. But I mean, in the sense of how you build this in your ESP, like Klaviyo, OmniSend, would be quite similar. So I put them together. Disclaimer. So because I haven't put they bought, I haven't actually done the whole logical flow here of email 1, did they buy, yes or no? They didn't buy. Another email, did they buy, yes or no? Make sure to split each email with a logical split of if they bought or not. I've audited too many accounts where I see just countless emails, regardless of if they purchased or reclaimed their cart or checkout. So make sure to do that. So the trick is going to be when someone's checkout started or cart, whatever. Email 1. Email 1. Again, the biggest reason why someone abandons their cart or checkout is likely due to them simply forgetting. People don't go around their day saying, yes, I must return home to place that order and recover my cart. People just usually forget about their order, right? So it's just going to be like, I forgot to put the kettle on, return to checkout, what you left behind. Or if you want to do a plain text, which I should have actually put an example for, but if you want to do a plain text, it'll be a simple case of, hey there, notice you left this behind. Was there anything I could help with? You simply forgot, no worries, happens to the best of us. You return to cart here. But if you did need any help, just drop me a reply. Here's what you left behind. Then after that, again, you're going to, with all these abandonment flows, whether it's a win back and they've abandoned your business, or it's cart, browse, checkout, you're handling objections. Like too many brands just go 10% off, 10% off, 10% off. But you're forgetting all the other reasons why someone is not buying with you. So your goal with this flow is just to go through every reason why someone's not purchasing. And the main reason people don't buy is because they don't trust you or they don't trust your product will work. And that's why the second one is going to be about social proof. So it's going to be headline, return to cart, trust icons, we left behind, remind them, a case study of why to use you, or a focus group. If you haven't got that, you can do third-party social proof, which will be, for example, say it's a vitamin D supplement. You can talk about vitamin D levels in the UK and why you need this brand, why you need this supplement, and then hear from other people, join them today. After that, it's going to be FAQs. So just going through reasons why they may not be purchasing from you, and then some other reasons why they should shop with you. And then you're going to go into actual direct reasons to buy. And as you'll see across all of these emails, is just social proof, social proof, social proof. Because trust, you just keep trying to build trust. So trust, saved your order, direct reasons to buy, us versus them, XYZ, XYZ. Then you're going to split it into have they bought before, yes or no. You should actually do this before on after email 1, because the case studies and the FAQs and the actual reasons to buy are going to be very different between a first-time customer and a returning customer. But for time's sake and explain this simply in this video, we'll just carry on from here. So you're going to split between have they bought before, yes or no. And the 2 emails I'm going to show you are the same point in this flow, but just to different customers, right? So we'll go through it. So it'll be like, Tom, this is my final email about your order. I know I'm being persistent, but because I genuinely care and think we can solve your lash struggles. XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. If you haven't reordered because you're unsure on your lash choice, feel free to drop me a message. Choosing lashes comes with its complications, and it's okay if your first order wasn't your ideal fit. Now, if you compare this to Tom, I got this message from ex-customer yesterday. What I love about Emily's experience, she says she took the leap after seeing them everywhere, just like you're probably thinking about. She was a first-time customer just like you. You want to split these emails based on where their current position is. That's why a lot of brands don't have as an effective abandonment reclaim flows as they should do, and that's all because they don't tailor and make the marketing personalized. So one real key thing to remember when making these flows is you want them to be personal and relatable to their current position. But yeah, towards the end of this flow, you're going to want to do hard-hitting plain texts. Plain texts are more personal, so you tend to see better results with them. Yeah, that's that. So if we go into the last flow of this video, we're going to go into the browser abandon, and it's a similar thing, but browser abandon is a bit more relaxed than the cart, checkout, and win back. Reason being, it's quite an easy flow to trigger. Like you could have a loyal customer just going through, they looked at your crisps or whatever the product is, and then their kid distracted them, they just went off. So a lot of people do trigger this, but then some people do trigger that genuinely browse abandon in terms of they were looking, win them back, not someone simply forgot and they were going to buy again later. So this first email is just going to be a simple, hey there, notice you're checking out thingies, no worries at all. Can be overwhelming to pick the right one, XYZ. You're going to split this like we usually do based on if they've ordered before as well. And then it's just going to be, tell me about XYZ, or you simply left this behind, let me check. And then for like the tech on this, you actually usually want to do it to have they added to cart, yes or no, rather than have they placed an order. And the reason why is because the browse abandon leads them to the cart leads them to the checkout leads them to the post-purchase, the post-purchase falls into the win-back or your campaigns. Like your whole email marketing is like an ecosystem, and it's just a useful way to look at like a different spider web of all the flows connecting and how they help each other out, So then after the simple check-in, they haven't added, you're going to go into common things. So you're either going to go into common objections, or you're going to go into a common objection about proof. And another thing is they may have looked at something, because your browser abandon is triggered by the first product they look at. So they may have looked at something, not fancy that, they've gone off your site, but they may have been looking for something else that you sell. So you're going to recommend other products to them. After that, you're going to do an FAQ, which is just like, this may help. we looked at. And then the last one that I actually forgot to add on here will be a simple plain text, just checking in. Did you have any questions? I'm not going to like hound you about this, but I saw you looked at this product. Sells quite quick this time of year, so yeah, let me know if you need a hand. You know, like treating this like a store clerk when you go in to buy new clothes, or you go into like a wine cellar and you're asking about this bottle of wine. You want it to be the same thing, right? It's like, okay, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? Can I help with this, and this? Just helping them and guiding them kindly to the checkout, rather than blasting them with 10% off and here's what you left behind. So, I hope this video helped. If you liked it and found it useful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate it. And if you happen to own a D2C brand doing over 600,000 a year, you can check us out for a free consultation call at audienceflow.io. Link will be in the description. And yeah, cheers for watching and chat soon. Thank you.